This is WYGG 88.1 FM, Asbury Park.
We all can agree that raising a family in these times is challenging, with everything being so exposed and accessible through social media and the influence that come along with it. How do we find the balance?
Does your child feel confined and has no outlet?
Sasha, meet me in the bathroom so we can take our Instagram pics, because you know once I get home they won't let me out.
Would your child come to you when they need help?
Mom, I'm in trouble and I don't know what to do.
Do you know the signs when your child is crying out for help?
Nicholson, you don't listen. The school has called me and now I have to attend another school meeting. This time you lose your video games for 2 months.
Do you and your family need access to resources?
I lost my job. How will we get our bills paid?
Does your family have expectations and boundaries for mutual respect and understanding?
I am the man of the house, but my family does not respect me.
Finally, a show where families can feel supported and get resources for guidance during these troubled times. Presented to you by Good News Community Action. Family Matters, a radio show, aired every Saturday afternoon from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. A new segment discussing all things and situations relating to families. Family Matters Discussions, a radio show for everyone to listen together.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Good News Radio, Family Matters. I'm your hostess, Elna. It is good to be with you this afternoon. It's February 3rd. Oh my goodness, we're already in February. It's gone by so fast, y'all. Before you know it, it'll be the end of the year. So let us make the best use of the time that we have together. This program is aired every Saturday from 3 to 4 and repeated again on Sundays from 4 to 5, and repeated again on Sundays from 3 to 4. Today is the first Saturday of the month, so we are going to cover a topic on children and families. So just stay tuned. We are going to have a good discussion together, hopefully. And I heard that the phone line is not working, so you won't be able to call in. So hopefully you guys are able to glean some of this information and apply it to your lives, to your relationships that you have with your young people. So I want to greet everyone who's listening to us on goodnewsradiotv.com, everyone listening to us on WYGG Good News Radio on Facebook, and those of you who are dialing in to 518-906-1596. I welcome you all to the program Family Matters on Good News Radio. This program is presented to you by Good News Radio's nonprofit organization called Good News Community Action. So hopefully you guys are able to donate to Good News Radio, to Good News Community Action. You can mail in your checks to 414 Asbury Avenue, Asbury Park, or you can cash app to 908-489-9820. I will greet our Haitian Creole listeners at this time. Bonsoir tout le monde, bienvenue dans Affaires Famille. Moi c'est Elna, moi content ensemble avec nous. Après-midi ça, jeudi en séjour que nous partager quelques informations, discuter quelques bagailles de enfants avec famille. Nous pourrons engager nos discussions ensemble avec nous après-midi ça, mais nous apprendre que ligne téléphone n'a pas de travail. Nous allons essayer pour nous si nous entrer. Merci que nous pas entrer. Moi j'espère que nous écouter et puis information que nous recevoir, nous appliquer dans vie nous, dans relation nous ensemble avec petit nous, qui vivre ensemble avec nous. Nous te merci ensemble avec tout le monde qui sur website là qui écouter sur Good News Radio TV.com, tout le monde qui écouter sur WYGG Good News Radio, et puis tout le monde qui a écouté sur ligne téléphone 518-906-1596. Nous demandons que si nous avons supporté Radio Bonne Nouvelle, nous avons envoyé chèque nous sur 414 Asbury Avenue, Asbury Park, ou bien nous avons allé sur Cash App sur 908 489 98 20 pour nous supporter Radio. As always, I have resources for you guys. Last week, I told you about the migrant education program from Essex Regional. It's a part of the Educational Services Commission. They are servicing several counties in the state of New Jersey: Bergen, Essex, Hudson, Hunterdon, Middlesex, Monmouth, Morris, Passaic, Somerset, Sussex, Union, and Warren. So Monmouth County, which is where we are, you are part of this as well. If you are a migrant, migrated to the United States from other countries, this program is for you. They're going to help you with food services, supplies, interpretation services, virtual tutoring, referrals for health services, transportation, school advocacy, summer school and camp, and clothing assistance. In order for you to make use of this resource that is available to you, you can call phone number 973-403-6262, extension 230. The phone number again is 973-405-6262, extension 230. Numéro de téléphone. Si que nous sommes immigrants qui immigrent aux États-Unis, nous avons besoin d'aide. Et pour être dans Monmouth County ou bien Middlesex ou bien Union County, gain l'autre county tout, takou Bergen, Essex, Hudson, Hunterdon, Morris, Passaic, Somerset, Warren, ensemble avec Sussex, nous-mêmes c'est dans Monmouth County que nous sommes. Il a aidé nous, immigrants, ensemble avec un service pour manger, pour joindre provision, pour servir peut-être interprétation. Il a gagné, il a aidé aux formations dans l'école, il a un référal pour santé, pour le docteur. Il a transportation et puis il a avocat pour faire l'école. Et puis yo genyen l'école nan congé an pou timoun yo ansem avek camp. Et puis yo genyen assistance radi ke a bay. So si ke nou bezwen pran avantaj sa, numéro téléphone pou nou laisser 973 405 62 62 extension 230. 973 405 62 62 extension 230. All right, so the other program that I had for you guys is relating to a job fair that's going to take place for vegan specialized living, that's assistant living facilities called Beacon, that is doing their job fair on February 6th from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. They're saying that they have competitive pay, they have 401k, they have a PTO policy, they have training, they have promotions, and a whole lot more. This job fair is going to take place at 16 North Taylor Avenue in Neptune. That's the Workforce Developmental Center right there in Neptune, right behind the Board of Education on Neptune Boulevard. So their address is 60 North Taylor Avenue in Neptune. So they're going to have a job fair for Beacon Assisted Living Services. Genye job fair ke Beacon, assistance pou gran moun, takou ka ti gran moun yo, kote ti gran moun yo rete compagnie sa li le Beacon, y a fait job fair 6 février à midi pour 4 heures. Et puis, adresse côté qui a fait job fair là, c'est dans Workforce Developmental Office là. Côté unemployment là, il y a dans Neptune, 60 North Taylor Avenue dans Neptune. Moi, j'espère que nous si nous avons cherché qualité de travail, ça, nous allons aller dans job fair ça qui a fait. So there's a recruitment event for Allentown LLC that's also taking place on February 7th from 8:30 to 4 p.m. at the Monmouth County One Stop Center. Again, the same place on February 7th. So they're doing something February 6th and they're doing another one February 7th for 2 separate companies. So if you're interested in employment, 16 North Taylor Avenue, Neptune is the place to go. All right, so there's also some other employments that I have here, but we're not going to go through it because we do want to get into our discussion. I do want to remind you guys that February 8th, that's this week coming up, there's going to be the Healthy Relationship Workshop, which is being coordinated by Mercy Center. They're going to be talking about the fundamental of healthy relationships, dealing with traumatic related issues as it applies to families. Okay, and not just families that actually live in the home together, but families in general. Okay, mother, father, brothers, sisters, and aunts and uncles, and cousins, nieces and nephews, family in every sense of the word. So I hope you guys are able to participate in this workshop. This is a program that is funded by the New Jersey Department of Children and Families, Division of Women. Their Keeping Families Together program. It's going to be February 8th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. If you'd like to participate and want the Zoom link for your participation, the number is 908-677-5415. Again, it's 908-677-5415. Nous expliquer tout le monde que Mercy Center a fait une formation de relations, un workshop, une formation de relations en santé actuelle pour toute famille qui a participé. Yo pral parler de fondamental dans yon relation qui en santé. Faire face à problème qui gen rapport à traumatique. Si que nous t'avons participé dans Zoom workshop ça qui a fait 8 février 6h30 pour 8h, nous avons le numéro de téléphone 908 677 54 15 908 677 54 15. Si que les nous relais nous tendez c'est anglais nous tendez nous commander pour yo ba nous monde qui parle créole. Y a mettre un monde qui parle créole sur ligne et puis ou dit ça ou vle. Okay, so workshop ça, c'est Diola Prévillon, lui-même li c'est CEO, founder Elevate Her International, ils sont pasteurs, puis c'est un thérapeute qui a une licence pour bay service dans l'État de New Jersey. So hopefully you guys are able to join in that workshop. It'll be a great experience for our families. So again, Mercy Center, in conjunction with Triumphant Life, is presenting a family affair, family health conference, which will focus on healing, emotion, action, lifestyle, trauma, and home. This will take place on February 10th from 10:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Again, there's going to be a panel of speakers, and Diola Prévillon is one of the speakers that will be participating. They are serving a free breakfast and lunch. So if you are going to participate, we would like for you to let us know so we can let them know how many people we have going to this workshop, to this conference from Good News Radio. So, Triumphant Life ensemble avec Mercy Center mettez ensemble pour faire une conférence pour famille et puis y a discuter affaire de émotionnel qui gens que nous ca guéri action gens que nous vivons traumatisation et puis kai ça c'est 10 février 10h30 pour 3h. Li nan 500 Malturer Avenue dans Oceanport, dans l'église Triumphant Life lan. Y a bay déjeuner ensemble avec lunch. So, si ke gen moun ki vle participer, nous espérons que vous ka relé pour dire que vous participer pour yo ka connaître pour combien moun pour yo préparer manger. All right, so I think I gave the address, right? 500 Malturer Avenue in Oceanport. It's the address to Triumphant Life, the church. That's where this family affair health conference is going to take place. So this is where I would tell you to call in if you want to join in our discussion. As I was told that the phone line is not presently able to receive incoming calls. So, those of you who had planned to call, if you know my cell phone number, feel free to do so, and then I can still put you on the air. Okay, so again, I remind you, you're listening to Family Matters on Good News Radio. I'm Elna, your moderator. It's my privilege and my honor to be here with you again this afternoon. I hope you guys had a great week and all is well with you and your family. Speaking of families, here's a question that I have for you guys relating to today's discussion. So I want everyone to listen up, okay? Good News family, everybody who's listening, really pay attention to this, especially you young people. I think you'll like this discussion. So the question is, this is what we're going to cover. Parents, how well do you understand your teen? And when we're talking about teens, we're not talking about 0 to 12, okay? We're talking about 13 and up. So they're 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, right? Even though at 18, they're considered adults, they're still teens, right? Because their brain is still developing, even well until their 20s. The brain is still developing. You're still learning right from wrong. You're still learning how to make good decisions or decisions that are helpful to you and not detrimental or hurtful to you. So you're still in the learning, developing phase of your life, well into your early 20s. In some cases, the guys, mid 25s, really. Your brain is still developing. So I asked the question, parents, how well do you understand your teen? So if you can answer this question and you answer it very quickly and you say, oh, yes, I totally understand my teen, I would say that you didn't think about this question long enough. I mean, who really understands teenagers? I'm going to be honest with you guys. Teenagers, to me, they're somewhat an anomaly. Not all teenagers. Some of them I get. But some are, and you'll see this in this discussion. Some would say, like, are they of this world? Do they live in reality? Like, are they present here on earth with us? Or, are they in their own world? So do you know your teen is the question that I'm asking you. When I ask that question, I mean, do you really see them for who they really are? Do you know what they like to eat, what they prefer to wear, what they like to do for fun? Do you know who their friends are, their favorite food, right? Their favorite color, movie, book, their favorite artists or music that they like to listen to? How about this? Do you guys know some of the things that they're struggling with, right? Do you know what kind of people they like and what kind of people they don't like, or who in your immediate circle do they like and who they don't like, and why they feel this way about this person? And also, what's going on with them? Like, when something is going on with them, who do they go to find for advice, to find comfort, to find some sort of relief? What is their outlet? Do you understand do you know what's going on with your young people that you have living in your home? So how did we come about to this question? So I was reading Core Digest and I came across the question. I thought it was very interesting and fitting for our children and family segment today. So here's the question. What's one thing parents don't understand about teenagers? So this question was asked of everyone, on the internet who actually reads that website. So it's like a community of people. Somebody asks a question and everybody responds, what they think. It's you're free to give your opinion. And of course, there's always people who judge other people and, who have negative things to say. There's a lot of positive things. There are people with really good, valuable information with details. So I like to visit that once in a while to see what's going on in the world, right? Because we're all in our homes, in our little towns, in our little segments of the world. Sometimes you have the need to connect to know what's going on with other people in the world. So that was the question that was asked. And so a young person who is not quite a teenager, but they explained that they were a teenager not too long ago. So they felt that they were the best qualified person to answer this question about, what's the one thing, or what is one thing that parents don't understand about teenagers? Well, this young person didn't have just one thing that they were that they wanted to share their parents don't understand about teenagers. They had a slew of things. It was a lot of things that they had to say about, how parents don't understand their teenagers, right? And like I was saying in the beginning, some people say that, they don't get teenagers. They think teenagers believe, they're of the perception that they know everything about everything. They just got here 2 seconds ago, but yet they're experts on everything. Some people say that they're rude, right? Some say they're disrespectful. Some say they're lazy. I have a teen in this studio with me. Are you listening to this? This is what people think about teenagers. And you can let me know, what you think about that. All right. Some people say that teenagers don't apply themselves, right? Some people say they're sneaky. Some people say that they're mean and they're selfish. They only think about themselves, right? No one else in the world exists but them. They're on this big planet all by themselves.
I can say one thing.
Uh-huh.
One thing we do have to learn is that when times get tough, we can't just quit and just turn to something else. Keep moving forward.
That's right. And stay the course, right?
That's for the youth. And I'm talking about in anything that we like to do, anything we're doing.
Yeah.
Sports, education, even personal events, stuff like that. And keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward. Stay the course, right?
Yep.
Because things are not always going to go your way, right? And things are not always going to go right. the right way.
Absolutely.
But we have to persevere, right? And stay the course. That means stay on track. Like, don't waver to and fro. Don't go backwards. And like you're saying, move forward.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just like they said, good things comes to those who wait. And also the Bible says that we have to press towards the prize, the high calling in Christ Jesus, right? That's what the Bible says. So some people will always also say, my teen, that teenagers are destructive. They're self-destructive. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. That they're self-destructive.
As far as self-destructive, it comes into a lot of emotion. Most of the time, actually.
Yeah.
It's just like
because you guys are into your
because
feelings.
It comes to feelings with yourself as long as, and it goes into like quitting halfway. Strive to.
You kind of broke up there.
When you strive to be like someone per se, it's just and you can't seem to get on their level. There's one or two ways you can do this, and this is the part where everybody like comes to self-destruction. You either one, figure out where you're going wrong in the situation, and sometimes the going in the wrong direction is striving to be that person instead of trying to be, or instead trying to be something different, or being something better than what that person or whatever that person is, whatever you're striving for, that goal. But on top of everything else, the other type of way is, and this is where everybody falls at, and it's where everybody mostly slips on the route, is that they want to give up. And most of the time when they want to give up, they either change what they want to do, cut down halfway, and like I said, like just like slow down. This goes with like this is a big thing actually for education. When people start struggling with their grades, it's like, oh, I tried my best, nothing else I can really do, and then just like
They
slow
give up.
down in their work. And their work the rest it shows that over time. But most of all is like people get frustrated because work becomes too difficult for them. I wouldn't say too difficult, but too difficult for their standards. And when that happens, like, oh no, the world comes crashing down because their world is not shaping the real world. Because the real world is like more solid compared to their world. So you just gotta make sure you're staying on the right path, no matter what's going on, whatever you're going through, what the circumstances are, because in the end you're going to find that happy place.
Okay. All right, young person, thank you for that word of encouragement. So this is where I would ask, parents to call in and with all the negative stuff that I just stated that people often think about teenagers, I would ask you to call in and to tell me if the description that I just gave you fit your teen, your child, or is it the opposite? And I would hope that it would be the opposite. Like for myself, I can say most of the stuff that I just said here does not reflect the teens that I have in my life, that live in my household, my children. And I would hope that it would be the same for you. So I want to go over the response to the question of what is one thing that parents don't understand about their teens. So here it is from a young person. So this is what the young person had to say. Dear parents, we don't like it when you invade our privacy. Josiah, can you relate to that? Like when parents want to check your phone, check your text messages. Okay. And this young person said, just because I don't want you to go through my phone doesn't mean I have something to hide. you know? And no, I don't exchange, pictures of myself online in compromised positions, and I don't want you going through my phone because, yeah, there's conversations in there that I'm having with my best friend where they're divulging some things to me. And I don't necessarily want you to see that because that's between me and them and that's their privacy. Because if you're invading my privacy and then you see this about them, then you're also invading their privacy, right? Have you experienced that?
Multiple times. Multiple.
Who's invaded your privacy?
I'm not going to disclose that information due to the fact that I may get a butt whooping later. I'm talking to.
You're too grown for that. Here's the other thing they said. I'm not trying to disrespect you or talk back to you just by trying to say you're not right. Oh, this is a thing that parents don't like at all. They don't like being told that they're not right. If you try to tell them, oh, what you said is not actually fact, it's not the truth, then some parents, and I've experienced this, what, are you calling me a liar? Right? And, we're laughing because we do this as parents. I'm guilty of it, right? And I'm sure some of you may have experienced that as well. So this young person is saying, no, I'm not talking back to you. No, I'm not calling you a liar. There's a difference between the truth and the non-truth. And when you state a non-truth, young people, they're just going to correct you if you're saying something that is actually not based on facts. And so for this, I have to say to give them some leeway, give them some room to express themselves. And I understand that young people, they have not developed the art of language to the point where they can say something nicely without offending their parent, without, saying it in a way, that the parent will be able to receive, okay, yeah, maybe what I just said was not the truth and I understand what my kid is trying to tell me. No, teens are just going to be very blunt about it. They're going to say, that's not true. Well, that's a lie. They're just going to say it to you like that. So they're not going to speak nicely and softly and say it, with luster. They're just going to give it to you direct. So the other thing that this young person had to say was, we are not too young to be tired. Just so can you relate to that? We're not too young to be tired. I often ask this question, why are you so tired all the time? What is it that you do that you're so tired?
Maybe I'm up doing things for ROTC. And/or schoolwork.
Okay.
And/or searching for jobs and/or colleges. And/or giving people therapy talks. Not actual therapy talks.
I didn't know you were a licensed therapist.
Not a licensed therapist, but people come to me for
they come to you for advice?
Yeah.
Okay. So none of that involves some rigorous physical activity.
I mean, there is working out every now and then that I need to fix that a lot. Athletics officer, and I'm like, this is not good. But there's a little bit of physical training, yes. Workout, meet the active.
Okay. So it has nothing to do. You're being so tired, and I mean not just you, young people in general. You're being so tired has nothing to do with you staying up on your cell phone, up until 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when you're supposed to be sleeping.
I'm speaking for myself, but when it comes to others, some people lack that skill to sleep. And I'm speaking about my insomnia people, my insomnia friends and stuff like that. But others, they end up taking after school naps. Me included, I suffer from this as well sometimes. When I would end up taking a nap from 4 and it would end up waking up at 8 o'clock, and from then I wouldn't be able to
wouldn't be able to go to sleep. Okay.
But there's also others that just don't like sleep and just don't sleep at 3 o'clock, just stay on there. That is real. So for the parents out there, make sure you watch them as well, because there be some kids that just be abusing their sleep time to be on their phone.
Yeah. So for that, I said collect the phone by a certain time. What do you have to say about that? Oh, silence. It's golden.
Yeah, she's making fun of me.
Avant silence. Josiah pa gen pour dire. Non, n'a discuté pour qui raison ti moun yo fatigué comme ça. Parce que yo pa gen on travail qui a fait, yo pa lever bonnet pour y aller travail, lever bagay lou. Et puis gen famille pour yo prendre soin. Yo pa gen bagay comme ça, yo pa qualité responsabilité ça pour yo fatigué, j'ai fatigué. So ça le dit c'est gagner quelques petits monde qui gagne difficulté pour yo dormir. Parce que c'est un problème médical yo ka gagner peut-être ou bien un problème santé mentale. Mais gagner l'autre petit monde tout yo sous téléphone yo dans nuit pendant que yo supposé dormir. So li dit pour nous payer attention parents yo. Et puis même si je sais que nous collecter téléphone yo, là on l'arriver parce que si 11h midi pas de raison pour mon sur un téléphone ou supposé dormir. So collecter téléphone yo puis recevoir les le matin avant qu'il aille à l'école. So c'est ça me si je sais, mais on va faire ça ensemble avec petit tout. On a discuté qui qualité bagaille que parents yo pas comprendre des jeunes monde qui na famille yo, jeunes monde ti moun yo qui a vivre dans la ensemble avec yo. So the other thing that this young person said, Josiah, is they said that there's a lot of things going on with, young people, right? And I think you touch on a little bit of it in your response relating to insomnia, which could be part of, mental health, right? So what this person said is, please don't dismiss my mental health cries for help. So sometimes kids will make comments, they'll say certain things like, oh, I don't want to live anymore. I don't want to be here anymore. Did I ask you to be born? I didn't ask to come into this world. You did that. So, and they're talking to their parents, right? So if a child says something like that to you parents, I'm not saying to make a mountain out of a molehill because it might just be them venting out. But those of them who are crying out for help, like when they make little comments like, I wish I wasn't around anymore, it'd probably be better if I was not living anymore, things like that. Like I would take that more seriously, okay? Because if they're able to say that to you, you have to believe that they didn't just come up with that they've been actually struggling with this. They've been dealing with this for a long time and just never actually mustered up the strength to be able to say that to you. But now they just said it. And so it's your turn to respond. How are you going to respond to this? And I will let you know that the American Psychological Association says the second leading cause of death for people ages 10 to 14 in the year 2021. And I would imagine post-COVID, we're in 2024 right now, that it's a whole lot higher than what they thought in 2021 is suicide. So if this is the second leading cause of death for young people ages 10 to 14, please don't dismiss a statement like that from your teen. Okay? It's a cry for help. And it's time for you to take action to talk about what's going on with them. And if they don't want to talk to you about it, don't push them, right? That's the next thing that we're going to talk about. But get them the help that they need. There are professionals who have gone to school and studied these things, and they can help. So seek help, Okay. And we do have phone numbers to resources if you ever need that for your teen. There's help everywhere. So don't hesitate to reach out and ask for help. You don't have to handle everything by yourself. Okay. So the other thing that the young person said, Josiah, and you can tell me if you agree with this. The young person says, when I want to be left alone, leave me alone. Right? And I know it's hard to hear a child tell their parent, I don't want to talk right now. Leave me alone. Go away. You know, especially when they're telling you to go away in a room, in a house that you pay for as parents, right, Josiah? Your parents pay the bills and you're telling them get out of your room?
Me personally, I don't do that.
Oh, I know you don't do that. But a lot of kids do it. Right? Or close my door.
You leave my room right open. The world does not need to see my room, whether it's messy or
It's
clean.
not the world. It's just the few people that live there. So keep your room clean so that you don't have to worry about people seeing your untidy room, right?
Yes, well, also leaving my room open leaves my little brother to walk in and do unnecessary things that could necessarily destroy my room. Hashtag sibling lives.
Oh my God, Jeremiah, you poor thing.
Jeremiah's the poor thing?
He's not here to defend himself.
It doesn't matter whether he defends himself or not. This is the truth.
So yes, I know it's hard for parents to hear about a kid, you know, that lives in their home, who they provide everything for, including that room. Tell them to get out of their room. They don't want to talk right now. But you know what? I say to give them time, okay? If they say, I don't want to talk about it, don't try to force them to talk about it, because you're not going to like the outcome. Don't bully or coerce or threaten or guilt trip them into talking to you when they're not ready to do it. It's not going to end well. So the author of these answers to this question said the reason teens don't open up to you is often that teens don't think you'll reflect upon the situation, but instead jump to conclusions. And then you'll guilt trip them, which most of the time does not work. Okay. So one of the examples that they gave was if a teen were to say, oh, I want to die, then the parent would say, then I guess I'm the worst parent in the world. That's the wrong response. Because the main character of that sentence, I want to die, was not the parent. It was the child saying, the child, your child says, I don't want to live anymore. So the emphasis should be on that child and not necessarily the parent, right? So if they were to say something like that, I think any parent who receives a sentence like that or a statement like that from their child should stop and pause and think before you respond, and think carefully of how you're going to respond to a statement like that. Because at this age and the mind frame that they're in, they're very impressionable. You know, every little word that comes out matters. Okay. And we have a lot to cover, so I'm going to go a whole lot quicker. So the other thing they said was accepting that you made a mistake will make your teen respect you more. I know some people who never admit to wrongdoing, whether they're parents or not. It's just not something that they do. And now you're a parent and you're this person and you made a mistake with your child and you do not come correct. It's okay to come correct to your child and to say, you know, what I did was wrong and I'm sorry. It's okay to do that. Okay? Because kids know better than anyone that nobody is perfect. Now, you tell me if you've never heard your child or your teen say, I'm not perfect. They'll be the first one to tell you that they're not perfect. Oh, and by the way, please don't compare your teen with other people. Don't compare them to their friends. Don't compare them to your friend's child. Don't compare them to your neighbor's kid. Don't compare them to the church kids. Don't compare them to anyone, not even their siblings, okay? Because my son is clapping, every person is their own person. They're individuals. So see them individually for who they are, for what they bring to the table, for their statements, for their behavior, for their characters, okay? Because they're still growing and developing. And every time, every situation that happens is another chance, another opportunity for them to improve, for them to learn, for them to grow. Okay? Notably, pinga no compare timon nou ansama avec timon lot moun. Timon nan l'église yo, timon ki nan la kou. Pa yon compare ensemble avec frère avec sœur yo parce que tout monde c'est moun pa yo pour compte yo. Tout monde gagne gens pa yo. Tout monde gagne comportement pa yo. Tout monde c'est individuel yo et puis gano compare yo tant que pour moun a dit oh ouais qui gens ça y est pour qu'ils soient pas comme ça. Pour qu'ils soient pas tant que tel monde. Li pas bon. Gano fait ça. Ti moun yo pa aimer ça. Okay? And the other thing is, because I said so is not a valid argument. Because I said so. Josiah, go clean your room. Why? Because I said so.
I countered this argument. I watched a recent video from Asian parents.
Okay.
I can say this much. Children, do not be tried to start getting leeway just because you have privacy or some sort of privacy and your parents can't invade that really. They are still your parents. They still have authority over you. They are still the people that gave birth to you. You do kind of like owe your lives to them and everything. They feed you, they give you adequate shelter, etc., etc. Please do not start having a little bit of leeway with that and start trying to control your parents. Parents, I say this in the exact same notion. I hear everything my mom is saying, and I can say for a fact that there are some times when you cannot allow the children to overthrow the parents in the family. It does not end well at all. So, as far as that is concerned, parents know best. Listen to the parents.
That's right. That's right. Parents do know best because, like I just said, kids are growing, still developing, right? But there's a way for things to be done so that it could be, like it just works for everybody on both sides, right? So when your child comes to you and they tell you something personal and they share something with you, or you just know what's going on with them, please don't share that with the world. Don't share it with your church friends. Don't share it with your neighbors. Don't share it with other people, even, your extended family, because you don't want people to have a negative view of your child. You want people to form their opinion of your child based on their interactions with that child, not because you went and said something that was negative. And you better believe it's going to get back to your kid, and it's going to further damage the relationship between you and your child. So I ask you to be careful as far as that's concerned. And are you the kind of parent who knows everything and get offended when your teen shows you the opposite? It's okay to admit when you don't know something. I think that's good for anyone in life. If you don't know something, just say, I don't know. Say, I'm going to find out. Well, let me get back to you. Right? because no one was born with, all the knowledge in the world, and you didn't have to go to school, you didn't have to learn anything. God just blessed you with every kind of knowledge on everything. You're just this super intelligent being. So it's okay to learn. And it's okay for you to learn something from your parents. Kids nowadays are very smart. They're just very, very intelligent. Okay, so they can teach you some things, and it's okay. Especially when it comes to the world of technology, they definitely know better than us. Okay, but when it comes to life experience, you have the upper hand, parents, right? As adults, you've been there, you've done that. So you too, you're very knowledgeable in a lot of things. So listen, no one person or group of people have a monopoly on knowledge. It's available for everyone who wants to have it. So don't put each other down. Instead, teach one another. And don't act like you know what your child is thinking. You shouldn't act like that with anyone. Give each other a chance to talk to one another and to explain what's going on. Okay? And then we're going to talk about the hurtful things that are sometimes said to our young people. So I pray and hope that as a caring adult in this child's life, the one that they have to look up to, that you're not saying things that are degrading to them, that are demeaning to them, that will assassinate their character, that will put them down. Okay? They used to say this, Josiah, right? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's not true, because words do hurt. And sometimes words can hurt more than the sticks and the stones, because when you got hit with the stick or the stone, you had a bruise and it healed, right? You got better. But the words have a lasting impact. That child could be remembered. You could have said something to that child when they were 10 years old, and later on, when they're 40, 50 years old, they still remember that.
Absolutely.
So we have to be careful of, what we're saying to our kids. And are we building them up or tearing them down? Even the Bible says that the power of life, of death and life is in the tongue. So think about that for a moment. And then go find out why the Bible said that, So do you think that your teen should not have an opinion, or do you think whatever you tell them to do, whatever you say, that's the way it is and there's nothing else left to be said? And do you think like all teenagers are the same everywhere? Like they're using one brain?
Some people, sometimes they can share like one brain. But in all cases, everybody's different.
Not a whole group of people.
Not a whole group of people. Absolutely not.
Right?
There's always a difference in every.
Right.
So I can say one thing you want to try and do, balance it out between the two. Absolutely, always try to balance it out. Mm-hmm. Keep your authority, but also keep an open distance. Mm-hmm. And I say open distance, not just a distance. You distance yourself too much, children is going to feel left behind, left out, and separated from the parents. Mm-hmm. So you keep an open distance. Keep your arms open wide. Make sure that you're open to them, so that whenever they need anything, they can get it from you. Mm-hmm. Exact same way, make sure you keep that distance so that you can leave them to grow. They need that space to grow.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Oh, my young person. All right. Oh, and here's a big one. Don't tell lies on your kid. Like, don't be that parent that told a lie on your child to the other parent. Because your kid is going to grow up one day and they're going to remember what you used to do. You don't want that. You don't want that. Okay? So, I know, my Good News family, that you're doing your best. You're doing your best with your kids. It's difficult out here, right? It's tough for families. There's so much going on in the world and so much that is hidden from us as parents. If they don't let you into their world, you're not gonna know. You're gonna see your kid and you're gonna be like, oh, my young man is like upstanding, you know, he's a good kid, and you know, everything's going the way it should be going. But you really have no idea, because you can only see what they allow you to see. Okay? So in closing, if you were able to take anything from what I have said here, I hope you will walk away with the understanding of the importance of speaking positively about your teen and to your teen. And we do this because our words will shape the opinions of others concerning our young folks. And it will boost their self-esteem if you're speaking to them, and forge an alliance between you and your teen. They will look to you as their safe person who is there to help them and not hurt them. So as parents, teachers, youth ministers, coaches, and even mentors, we need to check what words and stories are coming out of our mouths as it relates to our young people, especially when we are talking to other people about our young person, right? So there's no excuse for gossiping and spreading negative opinions about a child. When all you do is vent to your friends and others, you are only giving them a glimpse into the most negative aspects of your teen. How are they supposed to overcome that difficult person in their lives? Like, it could be a teacher or a mentor or a coach, you know, it could even be an older sibling or another family member. How are they supposed to get past through that if you've spread negative information about them and the other people have already formed their opinions about them before they even had interactions with your child? So give your child the chance, like my son was saying, give them room, right, to make their own friends or frenemies, you know, based on their own interactions, instead of the thoughtless words of anger and frustration that came from an adult that was supposed to be an ally to them. So choose to say kind and positive things, more often telling negative stories, okay? Give your friends, their teachers, and other adults reason to like your teenager, and give them the benefit of a doubt. And as you're doing so, remember what the good book says. In Matthew 7, verses 1-3, it says, "Judge not, that you be not judged. For with what judgment you judge, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured back to you. And why do you look at the speck in your brother's eye, but do not consider the plank in your own eye?" So nous avons discuté Matthieu 7, verset 1-3. Pingo jige moun pou même yo pa jige ou. Parce que même mezi ou utilize pour juger moun nan, c'est même mezi sa y ap utilize pour yo jige ou. Pingo di frère ou, oh ban mwen tire ti pay sa ki nan zye ou. Mais ou même ou gen gros pied bois an dan zye ou. Ou pa wè pied bois ki nan zye ou lan, mais ou besoin retire ti pay la ki nan zye l'autre moun nan. Et comme ça nous t'a expliqué pour nous parler ensemble avec Timonio, pour nous bailler bon conseil, pour nous dire bon mot pour yo. Il n'y a partagé aucun bagage négatif de Timonio ensemble avec l'autre monde. Okay, so that's our time for today. It's after 5 o'clock. I thank you guys for the opportunity to be here with you on Good News Radio Family Matters. If you missed us today, you can hear us again tomorrow from 3 to 4. This was Elna coming to you live of Family Matters Good News Radio. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great afternoon.
We all can agree that raising a family in these times is challenging. To everything being so exposed and accessible through social media and the influence that come along with it, how do we find the balance?
Does your child feel confined and has no outlet?
Sasha, meet me in the bathroom so we can take our Instagram pics, because you know once I get home they won't let me out.
Would your child come to you when they need help?
Mom, I'm in trouble and I don't know what to do.
Do you know the signs when your child is crying out for help?
Nicholson, you don't listen. The school has called me and now I have to attend another school meeting. This time you lose your video games for 2 months.
Do you and your family need access to resources?
I lost my job. How will we get our bills paid?
Does your family have expectations and boundaries for mutual respect and understanding?
I am the man of the house, but my family does not respect me.
Finally, a show where families can feel supported